Hey everyone, I finished watching the next Power Rangers Ninja Storm episode, Looming Thunder. Let's see, I remember seeing this episode when I was a kid, and that's about it. I remember seeing it. I don't remember much about the actual episode from when I was a kid. I remember it more from watching like the DVD and the tape that I had back when I was a teenager. Uh, anyway, it's a decent episode. So, summary. Starts off, Dustin is in a motorbike race and he meets and talks with two other bikers, Blake and Hunter, who are two adopted brothers. They're really friendly, he gets along with them, they seem like cool guys. Uh, yeah. When I was a kid and they introduced them this way, I was like, oh, so they're gonna be new Rangers. Because, I mean, you don't just introduce, like, characters like this, give them speaking lines, and then don't do something substantial with them later. So then Dustin goes off to look for Shane and Tori. He gets ambushed by Kelzax, and Shane and Tori show up on their new tsunami cycles. Then Cam shows up. He's using a remote control to drive this tractor trailer over that has Dustin's bike in it. So then Dustin joins the others, and with their new tsunami cycles, they defeat the Kelzax. And then, let's see, Cam gives Dustin a CD-ROM with specs on the bikes, and he wants him to go over it because he's the bike expert, I guess. It's a weird plot point that yeah, doesn't come up back up in this episode where he gives Dustin the CD-ROM. I think maybe it comes back in the next episode. Like I only have vague memories of Ninja Storm. I haven't watched a lot of it like in order in a long time. So let's see. Oh yeah, up on Lothor's ship, we see the two Thunder Rangers, and he actually calls them Thunder Rangers. So yeah, they have ranger designations now. So he sends them down with a new monster, and then oh no, he doesn't send the Thunder Rangers down because that would mean they would like have something to do with the plot. They're just here to remind us that they're here. The Thunder Rangers were kind of like as villains, they're kind of wasted. Like, let me see here. Da da da. Uh, Okay, yeah, so they're bad guys for like a three-parter, then they're gone, then they come back, then they're back till the end. Okay. That's something that I do remember from Ninja Storm is there not being a whole lot of build up for the Thunder Rangers. Like they just kind of show up here and there, then they're gone, then they're right back like almost immediately. And then yeah, there's never any kind of conflict with them. They're not a rival like Team of Rangers or anything after that. And it really makes me think about the original idea that Amit Bhowmik had for Hurricane adaptation, that it was going to be Tommy and Jason with their own teams of rival Ranger teams who would like reluctantly team up to like fight against some greater evil. And like I haven't seen much of Hurricaneger in years. I saw the first few episodes, but I never watched like the whole series, I don't think. Or maybe I did. Did I? I don't remember now. Okay, whatever. Anyway, uh, but back to this thing. Or actually, I want to talk about Amit Bhowmik's idea of having the two rival Ranger teams. They'd have to shoot a lot of original footage of them, like, being antagonistic towards each other, because I don't think that happens much in Ninja Storm after the Thunder Ranger's initial appearance. So then, let's see. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, Storm Chargers. Dustin introduces Blake and Hunter to Shane and Tori, and let's see. Oh, then my notes screwed up a word here. That's annoying. Okay. So then they have to leave to talk to Sensei, and on their way out, Shane overhears Blake and uh oh wait, where is my okay, there it is. Okay, Blake and Hunter are bad mouthing Dustin. They're I can't remember what they say about him. They said something about Tori being attractive and wondering why she hangs around with Dustin because he's an idiot or something. I don't think they used a word as harsh as idiot. It was something else. Oh yeah, Shane goes to Dustin, he tries to talk to him about it, and Dustin brushes it off, he doesn't believe him, and then Shane brings up, ever since you met those guys, you haven't been coming in on time, and blah blah blah, and Dustin's like, yeah, whatever, and then just leaves. So then later, Dustin is on the motocross track, Blake and Hunter are talking to him, And there's a weird thing with their conversation here that feels like kind of a mirror parallel of their conversation at the beginning of the episode. At the beginning of the episode, we see them talk, and they're really nice and friendly with each other. But this time, there's something behind it, and it feels like not quite right. Like, it doesn't feel like they're trying to do something bad. It doesn't feel like they're trying to be mean to Dustin, but there's something about the way that they talk to him here that just feels really off and really creepy, and I really like that. So then, oh yeah, Dustin's morpher beeps or something, which I guess is a thing they do this season. I don't know if it happens again, if they have the communicator beeps like in Mighty Morphin. Anyway, Blake and Hunter are like, huh, what's that? And Dustin's like, oh, geez, I gotta go. And they're like, no, man, stay. And he's like, I gotta go. And they're trying to convince him to stay, and he needs to go. And so then he rushes off, and he leaves his backpack behind. Then we see Blake pick it up, and he smiles with this really creepy, like sinister smile. Something's up with these guys. Do you think they have any connection to the Thunder Rangers? Oh, actually, I do remember something as a kid. I was like pretty definite that these guys were the Thunder Rangers, despite the Thunder Rangers being like the deep-voiced guys that don't do anything. And so far, these two have done way more than they did. So then Dustin joins up with the others, and with his help, they gain the upper hand against this new monster. They defeat the monster, but then Capri revives it, Cam sends the Zords, and then they destroy the monster for good. Pretty simple stuff. We don't see a whole lot of new abilities with the Zords. It's all just normal Megazord stuff. And my notes jumped around. Annoying. So then Dustin is back at the motocross track. He talks to Shane and Tori, and they're like, huh, where'd Blake and Hunter go? And Dustin's like, they haven't been around. And then off in the distance, we see the Thunder Rangers watching, and they growl to themselves that the Rangers don't know what's coming. And then that's where the episode ends, and good episode. I like this one. Although the Thunder Rangers are definitely the weakest part of every episode they've been featured in so far. Because they're just so separate from the main plot. They're completely unnecessary. Like, they really needed a better way to work them in. Like, if they wanted to make it clear that these are characters, like, working in the shadows in the background or something, I think it would have been better if they had been portrayed as, like, regular, minions of Lothor up on his spaceship. Like, they're just characters who hang around. They're treated like every other monster. They're treated like Mar and Capri or Zergain and Chubo. But they're not. They're treated like special for some reason. We only see them like once in a while spying on the other Rangers, and then they don't do anything. And let's see, in this one, or was it the last one, Lothor introduces the... oh yeah, it is this episode. Lothor introduces the Thunder Rangers to the other monsters, and it looks like it's going to be a big deal, but it isn't. They just don't do anything. So, whatever. Like, they look cool. I don't mind the garbled voice thing. It's kind of obvious that they're hiding who they really are, but whatever. The really weird thing, though, Blake and Hunter, like, not as the Thunder Rangers, but as themselves, they are very interesting characters and contribute a lot to the story. They have a lot of depth. They're very interesting. Like, this episode, I feel like would have been a lot stronger if the Thunder Rangers weren't constantly being shoved in to, like, just make it all the more clear that, yeah, Blake and Hunter are these guys. I think they should have left them out of this episode, the Thunder Rangers, and that would help build up Blake and Hunter. It would be a bigger, like, surprise when it turns out that they are the Thunder Rangers, I think, if we keep the Thunder Rangers out of the spotlight for a little while. So anyway, Blake and Hunter, they're charismatic and likable and friendly characters. They're the type of characters that, like, you want to see more of in Ninja Storm. You want to see the Rangers hang out with them. You want to see them become Rangers or something. But then there's that scene later on with let's see, them bad mouthing Dustin, Blake stealing his, or I assume he steals his book bag or backpack, whatever. Uh, Oddly, that never comes back. Like, I was thinking, oh yeah, the CD-ROM, that's in there. Now they have the Zord specs. But Cam never says anything. Dustin never acknowledges that, oh hey, someone took my backpack. We never get anything like that, so whatever. Um, Oh yeah, the monster in this episode is a mole monster, and he was in the Nintendo Game Boy Ninja Storm video game, and I liked his level, and he was a cool monster. I liked him in that. In the actual episode, he's kind of lame. He's just a typical monster. Nothing really stands out too special about him. I still like his design. I liked how he looked better in the game. Uh, Even though it was basically the same, I kind of like the game kind of simplified his design a little bit. His voice in here is kind of lame. It's just a growly voice. In the Game Boy game, he doesn't talk at all. um, don't know what else to say about this one, so I guess I'll end it here. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.